Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously, zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar. Zero patience for slow walkers. Those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night. Have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Hilton sale is on. Now through September 29th, you can save up to 20% on stays this fall and beyond. Long weekends, last-minute getaways, holiday gatherings. There's a Hilton stay for all of them. More moments, more experiences, more destinations. Now 20% off for a limited time because it matters where you stay. Don't wait. Book by September 29th and save up to 20% at Hilton.com. Terms apply. Hilton for the stay.
Hey everyone, welcome to this edition of Spin Shuffle Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast channel and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Now, do you like actors with albums? And already some of you are probably having nightmare visions of what some of these albums could be because, yeah, Jennifer Love Hewitt has albums, Alyssa Milano has albums, Lindsay Lohan has albums, but none of those albums that I've mentioned have Keanu Reeves on bass. But Dogstar does. And we're talking about their most recent album, Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees. And here to go down this road, Lyle Robertshaw's back on the show. Lyle, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Jason. Cannot wait to get into this one. I love Keanu so much. So going into this could have been the worst music I ever heard. And I would still rave about it because it's Keanu, our finest export.
That's the thing. I would love to somehow like do a fantasy draft of an all actor band, and every position in the band has to be filled with an actor who can play that instrument, because there are some where it's like, holy crap, I can't believe you have an album. You take a look at Glastonbury recently, and Franz Ferdinand's out there doing Take Me Out, and out comes Doctor Who himself, Peter Capaldi, to sing it with them.
Yep.
And then you realize
there's already some bands that are kind of like that. Hollywood Vampires.
Yep. Okay, so this can happen. But we're talking about Dogstar. Now, Dogstar initially came out, back in the 90s, right? Like back when Keanu was, of course, like doing films like Point Break and that. The first album came out in 1996, and then one came out in 2000. But then we had to wait 23 years for another Dogstar album, and holy crap, it was worth the wait.
Yeah, and I think it's because the long wait, Keanu's in his side quest era. Keanu's done all he's got to do. He's basically soft retired from acting. He said he was done, but then one of my favorite Keanu things is he said no to both Star Wars and Marvel, but immediately came back to play Shadow the Hedgehog. I love that so much. That he's picking and choosing, and a talking tumbleweed in a SpongeBob movie. Like, that's what he's doing now. He's doing music with his band. He's a talking tumbleweed, and he's Shadow the Head. Like, he's doing whatever seems fun now, which is amazing.
Keanu needs nothing unless that which he wants, and that is awesome.
Takes public transit, hell of a guy.
All right, so let's first of all talk about Dogstar. The band is Brett Domrose on vocals and guitar, Robert Mailhouse on drums, and Keanu Reeves on bass. This is, of course, as I mentioned, their third album, which came out October 6th, 2023. There was one single off of this one, Everything Turns Around. So, Lyle, I'm going to toss this over to you. Your spin pick off of this disc.
So, the spin pick, actually, it's funny. I didn't know it was the single, but I went with Everything Turns Around. It's a nice, upbeat, really good encapsulation of, I think, their sound. in its most radio friendly, this is the one that would get played most form, right? Like it's kind of it the whole album feels very 90s. It feels very 90s coded for when the first one came out. So I really liked it. The first couple I wasn't sold on, but then everything turns around. I was like, you know what? There's actually something here. I really like this. So everything turns around. I didn't know it was the single, but that makes so much sense.
They had said about that single, it was meant to have an uplifting message and a positive vibe that hopefully makes your day a little bit lighter. That's a quote off of Wikipedia from them about the song. And yeah, it absolutely feels that.
And I think that's like kind of reflects the Keanu attitude about things too. He's a pretty positive person. He's very like I guess the word would be spiritually upbeat person. He's always looking for the best. It kind of feels like a good encapsulation of what they were going for with all of this here.
Oh, absolutely. For my spin pick, if I had to tell you that my spin felt like a cross between The Cure and Blue Rodeo, which is probably the most obscure connection you're ever going to get on this show, but yet Dylan Street kind of felt that way for me. And the whole song to me was sold on the harmonica solo. Like,
yeah, I do love a good harmonica solo. It's one of the few instruments other than guitar that I feel like I've really gotten good at. So
there's the thing, right? Like Brett Domrose has a very Robert Smith-esque kind of quality to his voice. Like I was getting like some severe Cure vibes through the whole album, but I love this storyteller kind of rock. I love something that almost paints a movie image in a scene, and Dylan Street really kind of sold me on that.
Yeah, no, 100%. A lot of the stuff is very poetic, and they try to veer out of the verse, chorus, hook, verse, chorus, hook. Like they do some things that kind of color outside the lines a little bit for what they could have easily done, which is just, hey, we're a band with a massive actor in it. We haven't released anything for a while. Let's just do the most top 40, sing along stuff we could pump out and see if it makes money. But there actually seems to be a lot of heart behind a lot of these songs. And Dylan Street, you can really see it.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't come as a surprise when you realize that, of course, Keanu Reeves, the actor that he is, and Robert Mailhouse, who's also an actor as well, who's appeared on Days of Our Lives and on Seinfeld. It makes sense that their songs are going to have almost a visual quality to the sound of them and to the lyrics. So yeah, it makes sense, but Dylan Street really sold it for me. For my shuffle pick, I'm going near the beginning of the album. I'm actually going with the lead-off track, Blonde. Absolute solid mid-tempo rocker. It was mentioned with this album that they had crafted the songs meant to be played live, and this song feels like it. Like the band's they're not young guys anymore, right? They're at that, like you mentioned, they're at that perfect age. They can do whatever the hell they want. This mid-tempo rocker feels like something that's kind of in that vibe, in that tempo. But the other thing too is that it's more layering with this rather than distortion. Like this feels lush as far as the mix goes. Very Cure-esque too in the chorus.
Lush is a very good word for it, actually, because you're right. This is a really good one to start off an album. We've talked a couple of times about how important a set list of an album is for how the ride goes, kind of thing. And I think this is a great way to start. It is really good. It was one of the first two that kind of introduced me. I hadn't listened to anything, obviously, before this. So to kick things off, I was just like, okay, I see it. Like I saw the vision for sure.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you could see them starting a set with this. Like I haven't gone to set list. I've had to see, what their set lists were like. But if Blonde was a kickoff song for the set list, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, it would make complete sense.
All right, back over to you for your shuffle pick.
My shuffle pick is Lust. Closer to the bottom of the set list. It kind of starts with almost like an indie rock intro riff, I would say. And it hooked me immediately. It really made my ears perk up when I was listening to the whole thing the complete way through. So it stood out amongst the rest of them. There's not a lot of bad here. I will say that. Picking the skip was difficult. There's nothing here that screams to me this is an actor band. Because I went into it kind of thinking I'm not, you're never sure of the quality with something kind of like this. But Lust was one of the ones that almost made my spin. I really liked it.
I'm probably going to shock you a little bit on this one. because Lust is actually my skip pick.
What? Really?
Hear me out. You are not wrong in saying that there's like really anything wrong with any of the songs on this disc. And I actually have it in my notes here that this song is 95% of a good song. 95%.
What was the 5%?
Was the bridge. Because it took me out of the groove. This song has a great groove all the way through, but that bridge kind of threw it off. I love the fact that you mentioned that it had like kind of indie vibes to it. Of course, it's going to have that Cure kind of vibe because of the vocals. I was hearing some Sandbox in this.
Really?
Yeah.
I can kind of see it. There's that swing to it almost. Yeah.
But yeah, that bridge is a musical detour. Like, don't get me wrong. You know me. I love prog. I love prog rock beyond all reasonable doubt, but I like prog with reason, right? Don't just start changing things for the sake of changing things. And I know some of the songs I listen to, and that seems like an odd statement, but don't just change it for the sake of a change, right? It should flow. You know, a band like Dream Theater, they're going to change time signatures and keys and the whole works, but for a reason, for a very good musical reason.
Yeah, they have a plan.
Yeah, this didn't feel like I had a plan in the bridge.
See, I guess I liked that riff so much, and I did love the vocal stylings on this one. I understand what you mean, because it does break things up a little bit. It's a little bit like, okay, interesting direction.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it was. It just spoke to me. It's like a painting. You look at it objectively.
That's got to say something when the sole reason for my skip pick is based on the bridge alone and everything else is all good, including the other 95% of this song. That tells you how good an album this is. Like, it's not, you know, a pump your fist kind of album. It's not a bang your head kind of album. This is for lack of a term, it's a bobblehead album, right? You sit there and your head is going back and forth.
You're bopping along.
Yeah, it's a bobblehead disc. That's a good thing.
I think it is too, because there's not a lot of songs you can do that not a lot of albums, that you can do that the entire way through. There's a lot of albums where you pick 2 songs and then you download them, put them on the playlist, and the rest of it can be gone forever kind of thing. But I would say if you're going to listen to Dogstar, you kind of have to listen to it cover to cover.
Yeah. And I would totally recommend, like, if you do like Dogstar, go listen to The Cure. And if you like The Cure, go listen to this album, because you're going to find something that you're going to like. I can't believe I'm now labeling this, though, as bobblehead rock. This, of course, after I've listed some as stank face rock. So, yeah.
That makes sense. Both of those make complete sense, because stank face rock is a very real thing.
It is a very real thing.
Yes.
Right. All right.
Some of it just makes you scrunch your nose. I totally get that.
So since you shuffled my skip, I now let you close out the show with your skip pick.
My skip pick was Lily.
Okay.
My skip pick was Lily. It just a little too sentimental for me, maybe. They were trying to be poetic, but they didn't hit the mark. Like, and again, it's much like your skip pick, where it's still a good song.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have the vibes that the rest of the album did. I didn't feel the kind of 90s indie come through as much on that one. That one felt like filler more than the rest of them did. So by default, it had to be my skip.
I think the other thing too about this album, you know, there are some discs that we cover and we're there for like a good hour and a half going through the CD. This disc is 39 minutes and 58 seconds. This is not a long disc. Yeah.
That's what I thought when I listened to it, because there's other episodes that we've done, like the compilation series, like the Big Shiny Tunes and stuff like that, where it's a good hour.
Yeah.
Like you're sitting there and like you're going on a trip. With this, it was over really quickly. I almost couldn't believe I was on the last song.
But the funny thing is, that's 12 songs over 2 seconds shy of 40 minutes. So they're writing almost to their own formula, but that means that the whole album flows at that same vibe all the way through. And I think that's actually a really smart thing.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be long, for certain. A long album does not equal a good album. A short album most definitely does not equal a bad album. Some of the best albums that have ever been produced are only like 10, 12 songs.
Oh, absolutely. Or one song. There are albums out there that are one song, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, it's true. It's quality over quantity.
Well, when also you have something like NoFX's The Decline, and that's like a 12 or 19 minute punk rock song, and it's one song.
That's crazy. 12 or 19 minutes. I think one of the longer songs that I have on my regular rotation is Jailbreak by AC/DC, and heard it through the grapevine, the CCR cover, which I believe that one's like 7 or 8 minutes.
I mean, you want to, treat yourself to something, right? Ooh, Transatlantic This is a supergroup, prog supergroup, which includes Mike Portnoy on drums. So, of course, it does, right?
Yeah.
They have one album. It's called The Whirlwind. It is one song, broken up into 12 different acts, right? 12 different parts of the song, but it's one song.
That's crazy.
It's 77 minutes and 46 seconds.
It's an hour of the same song
with 12 movements, mind you,
with 12,
but
12 chapters.
Yeah. But yeah, it's 77 minutes of one song.
That's a very interesting concept that I kind of have to see now.
Yeah. Well, if you ever find a copy of The Whirlwind by Transatlantic, there you go.
12 chapters of the same song. That's interesting. I have to look it up now. It's going on my list, typing as we speak.
Well, while you're looking for that album, we do have to remind our listeners what your picks are from Dogstar's Somewhere Between the Power Lines and Palm Trees.
Great album name, by the way. My spin is Everything Turns Around. My shuffle is Lust. And my skip is Lily.
All right, my spin is Dillon Street. My shuffle is Blonde. And my skip is just the bridge of Lust, because the rest of the song is pretty darn good.
Just the bridge.
Just the bridge. Lyle, thank you so much for this. Now, please remind our listeners what you've been up to and where they can find you out there on the interwebs.
I am a producer at the Fight Network for Anthem and Sports Entertainment. So watch your TNA wrestling every Thursday night as well. If you like MMA, we got KSW. We got some BKFC going on. Any kind of fight you can imagine, we have it.
All right, dude. Thank you so much for this. One of these days, we're going to have to take some of those actor albums and go through those, because there's some journeys to go on down there.
I think that's a really good idea because, none of them are going to come close to William Shatner. But
have you met Leonard Nimoy?
I didn't know he made music.
Oh, yeah. The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins, dude. You need to go listen to it.
Does he have a cover of Rocket Man, though? Because the William Shatner cover of Rocket Man is just, that's art.
He has a song about The Hobbit, and the music video will break your brain.
I'm learning so much that I have to see now.
All right. Well, dear listeners, while Lyle goes and breaks his brain, you guys know the drill. If there's an album that you want us to cover on Spin, Shuffle, Skip, or an artist that you want us to cover on There Can Only Be One, hit us up on social media at OnlyOneCast, or go to our website at notthatbadcast.com. And while you're there, hey, check out our merch section, because you know what? We got some cool stuff out there for you guys to pick up if you want to help support the show. Until next time, he's Lyle. I'm Jay. You guys are awesome. This is Spin, Shuffle, Skip on the There Can Only Be One podcast channel and a proud member of the Pantheon Podcast Network. Take care.